Sir Ken Dodd was one of the great entertainers of the 20th century, and when he died, he asked his wife, Lady Dodd, to destroy his notebooks, his joke notebooks. And actually, although she said she was going to, although she promised him faithfully that she would, she ended up reading through them, and 10 of them are being exhibited in Liverpool in an exhibition which starts today, I think. Apparently, there's up to 1,000 of these books with jokes, full of jokes, recorded with GOG, good old gag next to it, and you know he had this meticulous approach to humour and joke telling. If something went well, he recorded it as good or fair or bad, and every single performance was annotated, was reviewed in his system. And I think if you want to be a good comedian, then you must write things down. You must have a system. If you want to be a good academic, you write things down. The writing down isn't necessarily so that you can flick through the books and find something you're looking for. The writing down is part of that memory process, and the habit of memory is about order. And in my own case, my order is about where I put things, not exactly what I put. I don't record things thematically. I record things locally, and so I tend to put pieces of paper in different parts of the house, and I'm always very distressed when they get tidied away because I don't remember what I put there. But finding an old book, finding a piece of paper, I can immediately recall what I'd written on that, rather than having to actually read it. I don't tend to have to read the book or read the note a second time. It's there because I knew where it was, and finding that again releases the contents in my mind. It's very much an idea which was developed. Cicero apparently used something like that, and of course you might be familiar with this, with the Sherlock Holmes revival and the Memory Palace, which I suppose is a similar sort of thing. We learn things because we impose order on them, and sometimes that order can be enhanced by colour, by a particular choice of words. I find choosing words which are slightly obscure helps, and I've also always found students tend to remember more obscure words than they remember straightforward words. I remember when I was teaching a long time ago, students used to come down the corridor saying esoteric, arcane. These are words apparently that I used a great deal in my lessons, but they were simply words which were designed to fix some sort of concept, and I have no idea what that concept would have been, except that I think the mystical is a subject that is well worth investigating, and it's a subject which is so badly studied that it deserves more attention. And yes, wherever I get an opportunity to talk about Kabbalism or Sufism, or indeed Palamism and the religious traditions of Christianity, then I would definitely do so. Hence, probably the arcane and the esoteric. But Ken Dodd had this wonderful flair for telling stories, for telling jokes, and he had that because he worked hard in ordering his information. and then reviewing that information, and it was there in his mind.